What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the House of the Hitters. Today I'll be going over my top 10 sneakers of 2023. And I want to clarify something. You won't find the SB4s on this list.
Nope.
And you won't find the Air Jordan 3 White Cement Reimagined on this list.
Nope.
And here's why. I have two essential rules for all the shoes you're going to see. One, it has to be a sneaker that I currently own and wear. And second, I want this list to be as authentic as possible. So only shoes that you're going to see today are the ones that's going to meet the first rule. So starting at number 10, we have the Air Jordan 11 Gratitude. We saw this shoe drop as part of the annual Air Jordan 11 holiday release. Now, typically, I don't care much for that release, but this year we saw what I'm calling the Concord or the DMP done right, because last year I accidentally damaged my Concords doing what I wasn't supposed to be doing, and this is actually addressing all the upkeep issues that we seen on those previous models. Plus, according to Nike, this is like the Russell Westbrook of sneakers this year. This is the biggest drop of the year due to sheer numbers, and when it comes to shock drops, it's the biggest one ever. So next up at number 9, we have the Jaron Heathcock's Nike Vomero 5 Dornbecker. This shoe was released as part of the Dornbecker 2023 Freestyle series. It was designed by Jaron Heathcock, who underwent 5 surgeries to repair his cleft palate, 4 of which took place at the Dornbecker's Children's Hospital. Now, this colorway is inspired by Jaron's Chinese roots, and the attachments is a shout out to his brothers and sisters and the models that he lives by. So you got things like Take It Easy, This Is How I Roll, that you could place upon the sneaker. Now, this is one of those rare occasions where the attachments actually make sense and they're functional. There's tons of ways that you can customize this sneaker. You've probably seen a couple of them online. And look, you also get like 5 additional laces with this shoe. So I love the fact that the shoe is very functional, very customizable, and it's a Vomero, one of the classic silhouettes that's on the market today. At number 8, we have the Jordan Airship PESP Every Game. If you're familiar with my content, then you'll know that I'm a super fan of the Airship, and I think it's super underrated because a lot of people don't know the history of this sneaker. Even this year, where we saw the release of the Air film, they downplayed the Airship. I was actually kind of mad about that. But this is the first time that we've seen cracked aged leather on the Airship. And this is just a clean sneaker, man. Very wearable. It's a head turner when you take this thing out. It's one of my favorite silhouettes, period, that's out on the market. And you can get this for a good price. And, you know, I think on the aftermarket, it may be going for retail, if not below retail. So if you want to add this to your repertoire, it's an easy buy, instant classic, do not sleep. This is for the real sneakerheads. Now, coming in at number 7, we have the Nike Air Max 1 OG 86 Red Big Bubble. From the moment they announced this release on Sneakers Live from the archive, I had to have this shoe. This is the first time that they are bringing it back in its true OG form with the bigger bubble on it that they got rid of due to defects where the bubble would crack due to cold temperatures. Now, once they released the big bubble, the one thing I didn't appreciate was that they put this same bubble on a ton of other models. But nevertheless, this is a classic silhouette. This is a classic colorway. I had to have it in my collection, and I think it's a staple for most people in their collection. And listen, don't sleep, because the golf model might arguably be better than the regular model. It's definitely an upgrade on materials, but I kept the classic model in my collection, and this one is number 7. Number 6 on the list, we got the Doritos Nike SB Dunk Low. This is arguably the first hype sneaker that's on my list, and one that I initially kind of sat back on. But eventually I turned back and I was like, you know what? I want that bad boy, man. This is a clean colorway, very premium materials once I got this in hand. If you haven't seen it, this canvas burlap material is super dope. It's this turn and stitch style that you'll see on the toe. and around the eye stage that adds a lot of depth and quality to the sneaker. I won't be cutting it up. But it's super dope. You got options on the laces to customize this with the green twill, and then you got orange laces as well. I mean, what can you say, man? Clean shoe, unique combination of collaborators. The one thing I will say is that I've been wearing my shoes, man. Where y'all at, man? I haven't seen this on foot anywhere yet, but this is part of my personal top 10. You're looking at number 6. All right, we're getting into the top 5, so we might have to slow it down a little bit. We have the Union LA, Beffy's Beauty Supply, Air Jordan 1 OG SP. This sneaker is why the 2 rules at the top of the show matters. A lot of people really don't like this sneaker, and I think it's really due to the fact that it's not hype. Every time I wear this shoe, it turns heads. The first time I brought this into the house, my wife was like, okay, no, that is a nice shoe. I think a lot of times people are hesitant to embrace a lot of change to a classic silhouette like the Jordan 1. And we can see here, we have that woven material that they pulled from the Nike foot skate. And this is a super dope sneaker. Arguably better materials than you've seen on the Storm Blue and the Black Toe Union LA Jordan 1 collaborations we've seen the years past. Man, do not sleep on this shoe. This shoe is on the aftermarket for, cheap. A lot of people are like, I've on numerous occasions when I've worn this shoe, a person said, you know what? I haven't been able to see this shoe in person. Now that I'm seeing, I may have to go out here and cop them. I had one dude stop me at the movie theater. It was like, no. All right, I know what I need to do next. This is a dope sneaker, man. But I think this is one of those ones that's kind of controversial because they took such a deviation away from just a classic, and the fact that it's all white maybe threw some people off. But for me, in my personal list, this is one of the top sneakers, if not the top Air Jordan 1 of 2023. Hold on, did I say top Air Jordan 1? Because at number 4, we have the Air Jordan 1 85 OG black white. If you haven't noticed by now, I'm a sucker for history. So when it comes to the 85s, they probably gonna make my list every year, to be honest. But the black and white, and listen, do not call them pandas. Nope. Are super dope. But it's probably the most wearable Air Jordan 1 85 to date. And they also changed the cut on this sneaker. So a lot of people in the past that maybe tried on a pair of 85s, they were like, oh my God, these are unforgiving to the foot. I did notice in this one that it's a little bit of a wider cut around that forefoot. So it's a little bit more bearable. If you didn't just wear your shoe one time and didn't get a chance to break in your old 85s, right? Super dope sneaker, the cleanest Air Jordan 1 of the year. I think it lost a lot of hype because during the time of this release, that was around the same time that Nike was flooding the streets with Nike Dunk Pandas. And I think the correlation between the black and white on that shoe and the black around this shoe, it kind of got mixed in the bunch. But this is number 4. And like I said, my top Air Jordan 1 of the year. Now we are really heating up. We have the top 3 sneakers of the year. So at number 3, we have the Born and Raised Nike SB Dunk Low, one block at a time. Now, to be honest, I was a little new to the Born and Raised brand, but back in 2022, when I saw pictures of the sneaker, I knew I had to have it. I knew it was going to be top 5, maybe top 3, if not the top sneaker of 2023. And that's due to the fact that they taking chances. Things like putting that brand's motto on the mud guards. That's super dope and something that I don't think we've really seen before. They got that same thing going on the heel. You got crazy laces that really sets the shoe off. Premium materials. You can see it on the toe box with the different preparations. And all that with a story to tell, because this is layering on top of what you could consider just a Darja dunk representing LA. So it all makes sense when it comes together. Now, some people think this shoe is a little overhyped due to the unfortunate death of Chris Printup, the brand's co-founder. But I'm telling you, before his death, after his death, This sneaker right here is a great representation of what sneakers should be in 2023. It's an opportunity to take chances, make something new, fresh, and unique for the public. So shout out to Born and Raised, RIP to Chris. You left us with a piece of art. At number 2, we have the Nike Zoom Kobe 6 Protro Reverse Grinch. Now this is probably one of the more easier predictions on the list, because like, what more can we say about this shoe? It's iconic. It's a swing or reverse of another iconic sneaker, and it's a Kobe. Right now, I believe Kobe brand is the future of Nike. You know, we're going to see what they're going to do in 2024. But right here with the Reverse Grinch, we got a classic. And I mean, for sneaker enthusiasts and athletes alike, you know, this Kobe 6 is one of the top basketball shoes in the NBA. And, you know, on the playground near you right now today. I mean, it's a dope sneaker. I have the OG Grinch, so it's only right that I have to have this. So over the holidays, I was wearing a Reverse Grinch along with the OG Grinch, and it was turning heads left and right. It's not a lot to say about the sneaker. This is going to be one that's going to be sought after for years to come, and it's my number 2. Now we have the main event. We have the number 1. I'm gonna start this one off with saying it is a parade in my city, yeah, because we have the Swarovski Nike Ja 1 Midnight. Now, if you're familiar with my content, then you probably could have guessed this one, but overall, you're probably asking yourself, why? You won't see this shoe on a lot of people's lists, let alone at number 1. Now, for me personally, you know, Ja Morant, I'm a fan, but also growing up, his father was my barber, and we went to the same schools. So I had to support. So after Nike announced that Ja would start receiving his own sneakers, I knew that I had to get one. And especially on that first round, probably the most coveted one. And that's what we're looking at right here, right now. Whereas this shoe was only released via Sneaker Stash, or you had to be there at All-Star Weekend to get this shoe. Thank God I was able to get this shoe for around retail, because the aftermarket price is astronomical at this point. But this is one that's near and dear to heart. I did wear it, you know, so it still fall underneath my criteria, but I'll be holding on for this one forever. Hopefully, Ja, if you see this, man, I can get you to sign these one day, because I'm putting them up and I'm passing them down, because I know you're going to get that NBA championship. But this is my number 1 sneaker of 2023. So what did y'all think about my top 10? Again, this is a list of sneakers that I've actually worn during 2023. I actually own. I want to have that as my base reference for here on out. Last year, I put a sneaker on the list that I still don't own, and I didn't want to repeat that. So this year is nothing but stuff that I had to the toe. Let me know in the comments what you think about the list. If I'm off my rocker because I didn't add the 4 in there. I kind of think that she was kind of overhyped, whatever. You know, I had it. So I had the 4 and I had the 3. But with the 4, it didn't seem like it was at home here. You know, I wore it a couple times. It just seemed like a generic 4 to me. And I just think it's overhyped at this point. And then with the 3, it was more so QC issues. On the pair that I hit, it had a combination of different elephant print on the right and left pair. I say it had a combination of zoo elephant and wild elephant. So that one didn't stay in the collection, and I just never turned back. So it didn't seem like that shoe was that compelling. So hopefully what you see right here, you agree with me. It is an original list. It's about as original as you're going to get. And I can't wait to see what comes out next year, because I know that year is going to be super dope, full of high quality releases. And once again, thank you for watching this content. My name is Norman Nation, and with your landing is what we like to call the house of the hitters, where we help people cop sneakers for retail. We do dope. It's not even a review. Like, this is just a dope original review list. But more importantly, we have a dope sneaker community of nothing but sneaker enthusiasts that come together and fellowship over the thing called sneakers. So deuces, and I see you on the next one.